And welcome back to the show. This is Old Man Hacks the World, Episode 9, Network Device Hardening. Alright, let's get it going. First things first, we're going to join the room and we're going to get going on learning how to harden our network devices. And, as we learned in previous episodes, that network devices are the foundation of any network. It's the machines, the routers, the switches, any device that's connected to your network. And all of them have to be configured and managed so that none of them create any vulnerabilities in your network. All right, let's get started. But first things first, if you like this content, please subscribe if you want more. If you like this particular video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you liked about it. If you don't like it, if you think this content sucks, it's boring, I'm a horrible presenter, give me a thumbs down and let me know what you don't like about it. Because I cannot improve unless I know what I'm doing wrong. Don't worry about my feelings. I'm a grown man and I can take it. Give it to me. Do it hard. All right. Let's find out about common threat and attack vectors first. Okay. So first things first, we have to know the difference between a network device and an endpoint device. So in function, endpoint devices are used to access and consume network resources. So your computers, your laptops, workstations, cell phones, tablets, IoT devices, all of those. Whereas the network devices are used to manage and control network resources. So your servers, your switches, your routers. Okay, traffic. Endpoint devices are your sources and destinations of network traffic. So I guess servers would not be a network device. They're more of an endpoint device. They're just on the other end. We're learning. Yes. All right. Network devices forward, route, and control network traffic. So configuration, your endpoint devices are pretty simple. All right, I'm going to connect to network XYZ. This is my username. This is my password. So on and so forth. Complex configurations for network devices, though, require specialized knowledge. And that's why we're taking this course. And then, hey, look at this. It gave us examples. PCs, laptops, servers, smartphones, tablets, printers. I did not think of printers or scanners. VoIP phones, smart TVs. Look at that. Okay. And then on the network devices, I forgot about firewalls, load balancers, and gateways. Okay. So let's go over some of the threats. A threat is unauthorized access. They just want to gain access to your data. So attack vectors are password attacks, brute force, dictionary, and hybrid. Exploit known vulnerabilities, for example, RC. Then you got the social engineering phishing, which is probably the most common and probably the easiest way to gain access, I would say. Because, how often do you pay attention during your cybersecurity training? Does your company even mandate that you take it? Who knows? All right, and then another threat is a denial of service and cause the disruption of critical devices. So one way to do that is to just flood that end device with just a whole bunch of fake requests until it becomes overloaded and it can't function. Not that I have any personal knowledge of this, but I did hear once upon a time that a young 20-something-year-old was wanted to learn how to become a hacker, didn't have any real guidance. He just heard of denial of service attacks and thought, hey, what if I open like 10 different terminal windows and I'll ping the bunch of, the same site with a bunch of ping requests, and what happened is eventually that the web server that he was pinging did get taken down, and that little 20-something-year-old really freaked out because he thought for sure that the FBI was going to be knocking on his door. I don't know who that guy is though, but cool story. Okay, moving on, we got man-in-the-middle attacks. Man-in-the-middle attacks is exactly what it sounds. You got someone, for example, you're in a coffee shop and someone is emulating the coffee shop's network, and with like a very similar, name. And so what they do is, you, instead of logging on to the actual coffee shop network, you logged on to the fake device, and that fake device is capturing your passwords, your username, your credit card info, pretty much everything you do while you're surfing the internet. And so that's why it's very important to use a VPN when you're on public Wi-Fi. All right. Privilege escalations is gaining higher level privileges or rights to perform restricted actions. So if you're just got like a simple user level access, and then you use different attack vectors to gain higher level privileges. So for example, if your root password is root, and I'm just a normal user and I do su root and give the password root, and that's the valid password, then I just escalated my privileges. I can do whatever I want on that machine, and that's not good. Okay. Then finally we got bandwidth theft and hot linking. So that's kind of a new one for me. I haven't really heard of that. Essentially, what it is linking a bandwidth intensive resource, image or video, from an external website to its original website without permission, and this can cause increased traffic to the original website. So if you don't have the rights to the image or video, you have to be careful where you post it, because every time say you post it on your Facebook and you have 1,000 followers and they're all seeing that same image, but it's being hosted on a different site, then it has to have that extra bandwidth. I don't know. I think that's a pretty weak. But if you are, running a bandwidth intensive website and every little kilobyte counts, then it does become an issue. Okay, so we're going to answer some questions. The device that is used to control and manage network resource is called network devices. Network device. Yay, we got it right. A threat vector that includes disruption of critical devices and services to make them unavailable to genuine users is called a denial of service. All right. Now let's go over common hardening techniques. Probably the most important one is updating and patching, making sure all of your devices, your network devices, and even your endpoints have the latest version of the OS, latest security patch, latest firmware. Uh, it takes time, and in a lot of cases, you may have to partially or completely stop your network while it patches. So you have to make sure that the least number of users will be affected. But not doing it is more costly than doing it. And then next step is to disable unnecessary services and ports. If you're not using an FTP server, why have the FTP port open? Close it. Simple. Okay, and then there's the principle of least privilege. So your common everyday users shouldn't be allowed to do whatever they want on the network. Obviously, we're gonna have logs and monitor them, and probably have a system in place that alerts you to critical errors or unauthorized intrusion attempts. And then perform backups regularly, enforce strong passwords, and implement multi-factor authentication. So it's all about defense in depth. You want to make it as hard as possible for a bad actor to gain access. And then obviously we want to use secure protocols. We're not going to use HTTP for a web server when we should use HTTPS. And then the opposite of that, obviously, is removing or blocking insecure protocols such as FTP, HTTP, Telnet, SMTP. And then make sure you know what you're doing, because if you configure a secure protocol incorrectly, you may think, hey, yeah, I'm good to go. Oh, but you screwed up, and now a bad actor can gain access to your network. Okay. So we're going to answer some questions. Suppose you are configuring a router. Which of the following could be considered an insecure protocol? Well, as we discussed just seconds, literally just seconds ago, the answer is B, FTP. Yes! Yes. Got it right. Oh. The protocol for sending log messages to a centralized server for storage and analysis is called syslog. It's right here. We didn't really go over those, but if y'all are doing the room, you'll get it. Or you can read. You know, reading's good. Dun dun dun. Yes. All right. Let us go over hardening virtual private networks. So there's more to it than just using the VPN service or protocol. You gotta set it up to make sure that it's protected. So let's figure out how to do this. All right. Let's start our machine. Dun dun dun! Hooray! The machine's been started, and it takes forever. So we got 230 seconds. I'm counting. So let's see what we're gonna do real quick. Okay. We're going to cover hardening a VPN server by focusing on secure authentication, strong encryption, and proper update. First things first, we'll connect using an Ubuntu with OpenVPN installed throughout the room. Alright, we've started the machine, we're waiting. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to make sure the VM is fully booted. I know, it's slow. So, usually the VPN server consists of server-side and client-side configurations through a standard config file. System administrators must understand the file's content and edit it as per best security practices. You'll be using the following commands in the upcoming exercise. The OpenVPN server config file is located at etc. OpenVPN server.conf, where conf is short for config. Once the machine is loaded, open the terminal and load the file by issuing the command sudo nano / etc. OpenVPN. Almost there. 43%. 130 seconds left to go. Then you make the desired changes in the file. Press Control O, Control plus O. That is the letter O, not 0. Hit enter and then press Control X to exit. The command sudo system control restart OpenVPN-server at server.service can restart the OpenVPN server. So we want to make sure that when we are configuring our VPN server, we use strong encryption to protect the data. So you get to pick the cipher directive. So you got AES, Blowfish, Camellia, and other options. AES 128-CBC mode means to use the AES encryption algorithm with a 128-bit key in cipher blockchaining mode. AES 256 CBC is one of the strongest cipher encryption nowadays. Not sure what Blowfish and Camellia are all about. It'd be interesting to study those. But that'll be a different episode. Okay. So in Ubuntu, if you're using apt as your package handler, you use sudo apt upgrade OpenVPN, and they'll allow you to update OpenVPN. If you remember in episode, whatever it was, I'll put the link up here. We talked about cron jobs, and so one thing you'll want to do is maybe automate this process so it checks like every night for an upgrade, and then obviously you'll want to restart the VPN server after it's upgraded. Okay. And so upgrade it, implement strong authentication. So not only do we want to encrypt the data, but we want to make sure that our authentication process is secure as well. So SHA 256 5112, pretty good. Okay. Let's open the terminal now that we're good to go. So sudo nano / etc / openvpn / server/server.conf. Okay. So we need, what is let's change some things here. We are 10. 87. So we have a cipher. Where's their cipher? We want to arrow down. Make this 128. I don't know why we want to go to lower. What? And then we're changing the auth to 512. That makes sense. Anyways, let's answer some questions. We got THM brackets. This is that one down there. So cipher updated. Submits. Yay, we got it right. Yeah. It's just reading. That's all it is. Let's celebrate. And this one is going to be auth updated 1, 2, 3. And per the config, the port is 1194. So what do we got here? Yay! And all right. So really, hardening your VPN is pretty simple. You just update the config file and make sure it's up to date. Once you got configured, unless there's a new like major change in like the cipher, the authorization protocols, you should be good to go once you got it set, and then you just gotta make sure that the program itself is patched. All right. Now we're moving on to hardening routers, switches, and firewalls. Routers and switches have to be hardened. Same thing. Okay. So use the web interface. So we'll have to use our browser. This computer is so slow. So we are going to go to 10.10.87.17, port 8080, and we are going to use the try me password for root? No, don't save. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da. All right. So let's go to system. It's a system. Look at that. So let's see if we're in these questions. So first things first, let's update the password. System administration. So they want us to do it. Try hack me 123 because that's a much secure, very much secure, securer. See, it's only medium strength. Well, that's all right. Oh, I goofed. So T R Y H A C K M E. Let's delete that. Yay, we changed it. Da 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 da. What is the default SSH ports configured for OpenWrite in the attached VM? So I believe that's under system. Or am I not? Oh, dang. No. Let's click on SSH access. There we go. There we go. The port is 22. It's the default port for SSH. And this is the general settings. We want that flag. THM bracket. What was it? I saw it there before. I should have answered the question then, but that's all right. No worries. System 101. Oops. Submit. Whoop whoop. All right. What is the default system log buffer size? Where we go to find that out? probably under logging because so 64 kilobytes. Is that what that is? Submit. System startup. So we have UHTTPD. Right here, it's 50. Okay, I feel these questions didn't really have us hardened. They could do better. But all right, that's what they wanted us to find out. Maybe we'll do more under the more techniques. So, network. Firewall. This is where you edit the rules. You can monitor the traffic from status, real-time graph traffic. We got some port forwarding, schedule tasks, update the firmware, prevent some spoofing. What is the name of the rule that accepts ICMP traffic from source 1? Traffic rules. ICMP. Come on, you can do it. Load. Load. It's like every time you go to the new tabs, like, dude. Where's my Jeopardy button? I need a Jeopardy button. Okay. Allow MLD from 1. Is this device. I think it's allow MLD. Let's see. Oh no, it doesn't appear to be right. Allow ping. See, there's multiple things that are doing the same thing. Depends on, do you want IPv6 or IPv4? Alright. Forwards data coming from WAN port 909001. Forwards. Maybe it's a NAT rule. Oh, that'd be under port forwards, wouldn't it? Sometimes you gotta use your head. Come on. Do, do, do. Almost done. THM underscore ports. Submit. What is the version number for the available APK package? Well, I'm going to System, go to Software, APK. APK is going to be 2.12.2-1. Submit. All right, and that's it for this task. More informational rather than actual. Anyways, moving on. We are going to go over some important tools. Network monitoring tools. So these are like outside software. You know, they help you with the security and performance of the network. Well, let's our network monitoring tools capable of detecting bandwidth bottlenecks. I would hope so. So I'm going to go yay because it says yay or nay. Survey says yeah. All right. Conclusion. We're almost done. Thank you for sticking it out. This has been a decently long video, but you know, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it kind of entertaining and whatnot. So, you know, if you do, feel free to hit that like button, smash the bell, and keep on following me as we continue down this road. And then, last thing, we have completed the room. Ta-da! Oops, I'm sorry. Okay. Deuces.